With pets and companions actually being viable in Wonderlands, I decided it was time to make my ultimate pet companion build. And it made sense to just do this with Graveborn and Spore Warden because one, Graveborn is great with all the companion buffs from Faithful Thralls, and then also from Spore Warden, having that mushy companion and just in general ability damage from Barrage made this an easy pick. What's going on, everybody? Byrdman here with another Wonderlands video. Today I'm going to be showing off my ultimate pet build. This is going to be a super awesome build that we'll have over on my Discord for you to download if you are on PC. If you are not, do know all these items are pretty easy to get. A lot of them are just like purples, and essentially just the skill tree itself really does hold up the entire build itself. I think the only thing that really would matter is just enchantments. But do you know you can follow me over on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch at Byrdman778 and use code BYRD at GFuel checkout. Right now, my code is 30% off, so make sure you're snagging that Tiny Tina's collector's box that is over on there right now. It's a cherry vanilla flavor. You absolutely want this. You know what else you want? You want me to start this flipping video and tell you about this build. So let's hop right on in and talk about the build. Alright, a pretty easy and quick rundown of this setup. Honestly, all you need is these awesome Fury or chucking pistols. What's so great about them is the fact that they all spawn those multi-headed Hydras. They're able to do a lot of damage. I definitely recommend doing the pistols over the SMGs just because they have higher damage, but make sure you're watching out for your ammo consumption with these. They can tend to kind of juice you down a little bit. I really like the enchantments, like after reloading gain 50% companion crit hit chance, companion regenerate 8% of their max health. This is just a great one because you're constantly activating it by doing it, making sure they're doing more crit damage. Now, when it comes to our melee weapon, we're going to go with a snake stick just because whenever we hit an enemy, we get those little melee Hydras that spawn in that do count as companions, so we're able to juice up some skills in our skill tree while also just doing some awesome just damage all around. Do you know that these Hydras will be melee damage, not any type of other damage? So I believe it's just companion and melee that scale with that. So just keep that in mind. Now, moving down into our gear, we're going to be getting just some class rings that I really like that have ability damage, companion damage, and spell damage on them. Why do we like all this? Just because Hydras are going to spawn from companion damage, as well as a little bit of ability damage that's mainly going to be from our Dark Hydras from our tree, and then the spell crit stuff, all that is going to work with the spell that we currently have on this setup. So these are just two really great rings to have on for this build. Going into our shield, we're going to be using the Master Rune. The Master Rune is the most perfect shield to have for a companion build. Why? Because it increases our companion damage by 25% and gives us a little bit of extra max ward, essentially making us a bit tanky while also juicing up our little friends. But the enchantment I have on this is the Spore Warden. Whenever you reload, gain a charge of Barrage. This is huge for this setup just because we're constantly doing ability damage, and it's also going to help scale up with the gun damage that we have in our skill tree, and also just being able to constantly shoot barrages is just really nice. It's just free, easy damage for something that we're already doing with constantly Fury or chucking with this. So really like this setup all around on this ward. Going down into our class item, though, I like the one with Graveborn, Spore Warden on it, obviously. We have a point into Dark Hydra and 2 into Faithful Thralls. This is a huge must, in my opinion, just because, again, getting more of the Faithful Thralls is more extra free damage, and 1 extra into the Hydra just means we're getting an extra chance that those Dark Hydras spawn in. This one has ward regen, gun damage, and spell crit chance. We really like those bottom two because, first off, our regular Fury Hydras over here are going to scale off of gun damage as well, so getting a little boost into that is really nice, but also the spell crit chance is going to help out that spell we're using. Now, before we talk about the spell, let's talk about our Amulet real fast. This one is going to have actual cooldown rate, which we really don't need on it, but the gun mag size also kind of need that one on it. It's pretty nice for the fact that we're able to get a little bit extra damage out of those Fury or Chucks. But this one has Dark Magic power, as well as Graveborn power, but this bottom effect is Fatemaker critical hits increase companion critical hit chance by 80% for 6 seconds, and then vice versa, companion critical hits further increase our crit hit damage, ours, that being the Fatemaker. So really nice, just kind of like synergizing perk for the companion setup all around. Now, going into our spell, we're going to be using the Arcane Bull. Why do we like this? Because it is a very fast firing effect spell, and it's really cool to the fact that whenever we get a crit hit with the spell, a portion of the cooldown is going to be refunded, essentially ensuring that we're constantly just popping this. It also has 2 charges on it, and it's just really going to synergize well with our skill tree, especially the capstone for Graveborn. Looking at our skills, obviously the class feats for both of these are going to be that Demi-Lich Companion and the Mushroom Companion. The biggest difference between the two is the fact that the Demi-Lich is going to just shoot dark magic damage, and then whenever we cast a spell, the Demi-Lich will do a Hellish Blast, which will essentially mimic this spell elemental type as damage. And again, do know that our damage increase will also apply to that companion. And then with the little Mushroom Companion, it's going to do a lot of that poison damage, and also we can ping enemies and the mushroom will lunge towards them, doing a lot of damage. Again, same thing, damage also applies to this companion. But now let's talk about our Graveborn tree. Just quick rundown. Essentially, you definitely need to go into Essence Drain just because we're constantly activating kill skills from our capstone on this tree, so it's going to help that spell cooldown. You definitely want to max out Faithful Thralls, Harvest, and Dark Hydra, essentially anything that involves companions. We really like the Sanguine Sacrament and the Ascension, especially because we're just constantly activating spells with that Arcane Bolt, so we're getting health from this, and then we're getting health and spell damage out of this. So this is really key right there. I like Lord of Edges all the time just because if I do get down to that low health, I'm going to get damage reduction and damage dealt, so that's just really nice to have. I have 4 to 5 in a Blast Gas. This is one where like maybe I could take out a point of like Sanguine Sacrament, put it in there instead for a little bit extra ability damage from our spells, but honestly this is working out just fine. The biggest chunk of our damage is going to be coming from our Hydras. And then finally, the Morheim's Blessing. Whenever we activate a spell, all of our kill skills are activated. So said kill skills are going to be Ascension, Dark Hydra, and Harvest from this side of the tree, as well as Essence Drain. And then on our other side, we have Wind Runner, being able to give us extra movement speed and fire rate. So all around, this is an amazing skill. I'm really glad that they essentially copy and pasted this from Zane in Borderlands 3 and brought it on over here. When I first saw this skill, essentially just told me Graveborn is going to be busted. Now, going over in the Spore Warden section of the tree, we have the Barrage, obviously. What's so great about this is the Barrage shots are going to be ability damage. We're going to be juicing up that ability damage with Affinity. So we're going to be doing a lot of damage. We're going to constantly be able to proc and like reset this essentially though because of that enchantment on our shield. So we really like this, and also the fact that it scales up with gun damage. So us boosting up things with like our Eagle Eye here or in our class mod really does help that out. But we really do like to go into Kindred Heart as well, just to give our companions, whether that is going to be those Hydras, whether it's going to be that Demi-Lich or our Mushroom, a little bit of extra health and more damage out of them. And finally, we have Thrill the Hunt. This is just the 2 points that we got from our class mod, but essentially whenever we get gun critical hits on an enemy, it's going to help give our companions a bit more damage. We're not really going to be using this all that much. This is kind of just a free perk that's like there. I mean, if for some reason we shoot someone in the face, everyone's going to get a little bit more juice out of it, but for the most part, enemies are going to be dying instantly from the Hydra damage. Looking at our hero stats, obviously Graveborn's going to get a huge chunk of damage out of this. Essentially, the biggest thing that we like out of this is the fact that we're getting a 59% boost to our Demi-Lich, whether that's health or their damage. Also, the fact that our Dark Hydra will be getting 59% boost, as well as Blast Gas, so that's pretty nice. And then Spore Warden, a 17% boost into Mushy, whether it's their health or their damage. And also the fact that our Barrage will get a 17% boost as well. And when it comes down to the points down here, again, as always, I just go spell and skill cooldown just because it's the easiest things to do, and essentially just fill out the rest with what it feels right for the time. Thanks so much for stopping by this video. Hope you guys are going to enjoy it. Again, if you're on PC, do know this save file will be over in my Discord for you to download. I've been having an absolute blast getting to talk to all the new people that are coming on over there. Just kind of collaborating ideas and sharing gear, essentially getting a lot of these setups made a whole lot faster. So I appreciate the community for showing so much love. And big shout out to a bunch of different people for kind of just like helping me collaborate with this build. Bad Karma, Psychotic Wolf, Epic and NG. All the homies have just been so amazing recently. I just really enjoy having a group of content creators who are all ready to share ideas and share builds and kind of just like work to, you know, make this game the best it humanly could be. But do you know, again, you can follow me over on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch at Byrdman778 and use code BYRD if you'll check out. I'm starting my stream every single day right now at noon Eastern Standard Time, so swing on by, show some love. Let's vibe out, have a good time, do some Chaos Chambers, and mess with some builds. Giving a thumbs up on this video really does help me out, by the way. You guys really just have no idea how much it helps with the YouTube algorithm. Follow me over on Twitter, twitter.com/Byrdman778 for updates on the channel, and to know when that G Fuel code is 30% off. Again, it is right now, so make sure, again, you're getting that Tiny Tina's Collector's Box Cherry Vanilla flavor. It is absolutely amazing. I love it. Thanks so much for stopping by this video, guys. I hope you have a great rest of your night, day, or whatever it may be.